it's self-sustaining in a way that
You can say that again. Self-what?
I wanted to make
Let
it
them hear the
I
word.
wanted to make the city self-sustaining.
Sustainable, like to take care of itself, guys. That's what we're
Exactly.
talking about here. Guys, so welcome back to another amazing video. If you are new, thanks so much for clicking. It's your girl Showcase of Liberia. In today's video, I have a very important interview with this distinguished guest, the CEO of Xity Liberia, and he was going to be giving you guys a brief background on all of the work that he's doing here within Liberia. So sit tight, relax, and enjoy watching this video.
Xity is a huge micro tech city that we are building, where we have separate zone for residential homes, right? So you won't have people interrupting you because they are opening a shop next door, or they are opening some type of noise pollution thing right next door to you. It's all going to be quite a residential area. And then there is a dedicated zone for commercial activities, right?
Within the city.
Within the city. Everything is within one huge space.
And how many acres of land
Yeah,
we're
so
talking
this
about?
is 300 to 400 acres.
Wow.
Right? So we have also reserved space for future expansion there. So that's the scale of what we are going to be building. So I was going to tell you about the commercial place where we are going to build the super shopping centers, the mall. I see you smiling for that, right? So we're going to build our nice hotels there and everything. And then we are going to also build something for the industrial side, where the commercial, like, activities in terms of industries like manufacturing, light manufacturing and things. That's where most of the power, the electricity will be consumed. That's why we are experimenting with this one here, right? Because we don't want that to be a hindrance to progress, just like it is in the larger life.
So, can you tell us what inspired this amazing vision that you are now putting into reality?
That's a great question. It's actually a long story, but I'll give you the short version and then I'll go into the details. The short version is I did not, like, in a day's time, come up with this idea of what I'm working on, but I always knew that I wanted to make impact on Liberia in a practical way. And I'll explain what that means. So, because of that motivation, like, I needed to find the idea to realize that. And building Xity became that idea. Now, what's the long story to that, right? So, by training, I'm a theoretical physicist, and I'm a special kind of physicist, a special kind of theoretical physicist. So I studied an area of physics called string theory. And what this means is that there are two different areas of physics that describe the entire universe separately. If you want to understand, like, things that are very big and massive, the ideas of physics that you use is called general relativity. If you want to describe the things that are very, very tiny that we still cannot see with the strongest of all microscopes that we can come up with, we study an area called quantum mechanics, right? They go down to subatomic levels, right? Subatomic levels, right? And there was no single theory to describe all of these together. So string theory is the most viable mathematical and even practical concept of uniting these. So what that means is that you have to understand abstract mathematics to the very deepest level. But you also have to try to ground that as much as possible in physics. That means you have to connect it to reality. So if this is already confusing, imagine how deep my study was. So it was far removed. The point of saying all of this is that my study was a highly restricted area, in the sense that it is not easily accessible to just any physicist or any mathematician. So that's the work I found myself doing at respectable institutions in the world. Some of the best, the Institute for Advanced Studies. I was a guest there for a while, the Simon Center for Geometry and Physics. So those are all very respectable areas and institutions of learning, like top notch. But those are the places I was spending my time, and those are the work I was spending my time on. And I constantly ask myself, but how does this translate to something practical, of practical benefit to Liberia? And there was a big disconnect there. So I found myself satisfying my intellectual curiosity, but I was lacking the aspect of my life that would be meaningful info practically in a short period of time for my people in Liberia. So that's the whole long version, right? So I decided to make a switch from my academic research and pursuits to pack that aside for a minute and then switch to something that would enable me to make practical impact
Yeah,
in
that's what
Liberia.
I was coming.
And that is how I went from doing theoretical and abstract mathematical physics to start doing something in artificial intelligence, which is AI.
So, with that being said, you were talking about this amazing new future that you are trying to bring within Liberia when it comes to solar energy. Can you give us a little background about that one? Want to know what is it that you, with all of those knowledge, is about to do for Liberia?
Yeah. So thank you for that. So when I started building this thing called Xity, which is going to be a micro tech city along the RIA highway, one of the things I wanted to do was to make it self-sustaining in a way that
You can say that again. Self what?
I wanted to make
Let them hear the
I
word.
wanted to make the city self-sustaining,
Sustainable,
right?
like to take care of itself, guys. That's what we're talking about here. Go on.
You got the point right there. So to do that, one of the things I wanted to do was to make sure that the energy power that we use in Xity was going to be sourced directly from renewable energy, right?
Yes.
So we're talking about wind energy, solar energy. Right now, solar energy, of those two, of course, there is hydro energy and geothermal and other things, right? But right now, solar energy is the most stable and accessible for me in terms of my usage in Xity, and that is why we are latching onto solar energy. So we're doing, like, we have planned and dedicated exclusive zones specifically dedicated for solar power in Xity. But here where we are sitting is the HQ or the Xity headquarters, right?
Yeah.
Which is the yard we are sitting in. And one thing I tend to do is that before I do things on a very massive scale in Xity, I tend to do little experiments. Again, it's from the science background, right? So I want to try out something. So where we
show
are
them.
We're sitting here next to the site where we are building the solar microgrid here in Johnsonville at the XHQ. And we are going to build a commercial grid system. What that means is that, so this site here we are standing at is going to be the site where we build, so all of these poles are going to be erected and they're going to support the solar panels that are going to be taller than me. And then they are also going to have rooms here that will hold the batteries and inverters specifically for this. Everything you see here is for that purpose. That container you see there is filled with solar panels.
Wow.
So we'll be doing installations for ourselves and also for other people. The boxes will work out there later. The boxes you see there are going to be the dual glass solar panel. They are some of the best qualities in the world that we've sourced from China. You are familiar with the products in China. So, and we made sure that we picked the best quality from the best brands, right? And the best manufacturers in China for the solar panels, right? Because we know and have experience on it, so we know how to select. You know China, you can go there and get something terrible, but you can also get something that is of best quality in the world.
So
that is what we're doing. So once we complete this, this is going to be utilized to supply power for everything we do here. From supplying power to the Xity office building that you see ahead of you, to other industries that we plan to build here, because we want to show to Liberians that the problems we face in starting our own industrial processes in this country because of the lack of power can be solved with solar. And I'm trying to demonstrate that, not just to talk about it, but to demonstrate it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm building a commercial grid, solar microgrid here. And then I'll build small little things that involve machine running on 3-phase. And by the way, this is, again, the other thing I want to say, this is natively 3-phase. So for those who are technically inclined, this is not a split phase thing, right? Where you get maybe 120 and 240, but they are split phase, they're not pure 3-phase. But this is going to be pure 3-phase, 120, 208 voltage, right? So
you can get any from there.
Anything that you want to run, you will run it off of this. Any type of industrial machineries, you can run it off of this, right? And it's going to have the battery bank that is needed to operate 24/7, right? So in the day when the sun is shining, we get the power directly from the solar panels. At night, the battery kicks in and all of that transition happens seamlessly, no interruption for power. So that's what we are building here. and we can distribute that power throughout here and across the field where you saw. We're planning to build some industrial processes there that will be powered on this solar thing.
This is so amazing.
You can take a walk in the building.
Okay. You all are taking notes. And with that being said, we have something cooking. If you are out there, maybe you want to open your business or your homes or whatever, and you are in search of a good solar energy, look no further. All you need to do is what?
Contact Xity.
Yes.
We are here always. You can find us on our website. It's xityafrica.com, and I believe you will have that on the screen at some point.
Yeah.
Our WhatsApp number is +231 777 909012. So
yeah. So we are also going to be offering all of those services to you guys. You don't have to worry. We got you covered.
So these are the products we are going to be installing here. See how tall they are.
Wow. Okay. Tell us about the height.
So these solar panels, as you can see, they are way taller than me. They are at least 2 meters plus tall, 2.3843 meters tall. That's the length. You are wondering. So that's already more than 6 feet.
And you are telling me that this thing is not going to go onto houses like homes, because
these are not residential solar panels. These are actually double glass solar panels. So that means they actually harvest energy on two sides, both the front side. Yeah. So they have glass on the two sides. They have the solar cells that can harvest energy from those sides. So these are commercial grade glasses, and they will be mounted on those solid poles that we saw lying in the ground over there. So that's what we are going to be installing here. And for those who are looking for something slightly smaller than these, because for instance, one of these solar panels give you about 705 watts just for one phase. So if you add the second phase to it, there is about maybe 5 to 10% additional gain from the back phase of it, because it has a stronger from the back phase. So this is not something you can put over a rooftop. It will crash your roof, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So we have something in that blue container there. From the front of that container to the back, it's filled with these 550 watt panels. And those panels will be able to, we still will not mount those over rooftops. We will still have to mount those. If you ask us to do your solar installations, we will build like these canopies and put it on top of it. And then you can use the underside of the canopy for place to sit, to entertain guests, and things like that. The other thing we are going to do on a bigger scale, and I'll say this. We're going to introduce something in Liberia.
Just give them a gist.
A little gist. There is something called agrivoltaics, where you do solar panels and you make farm underneath it. We're going to introduce that. So
wow.
Let's go so we can see.
Yeah. Wow, so this is their headquarter right here. Very solid building. Solid building. This is amazing. So when you started this headquarter project?
Headquarter project, I believe it started somewhere around end of 2019, early 2020, I think.
Okay.
Yes. So we started this headquarter project, and then in the middle of it, we started Xity, bigger one. So we paused this and focused all of our attention. Commercial, like activities in terms of industries like manufacturing, light manufacturing and things. That's where most of the power, the electricity will be consumed. That's why we are experimenting with this one. Here, right? Because we don't want that to be a hindrance to progress, just like it is in the larger Liberia. So hence this solar thing. But that's Xity in short, right? A nice place people can live quietly, people can work, people can play. Area for schools, like from daycare through college, there are dedicated areas for those levels.
So, anyways, as you guys heard from the house's mouth, we are not at the Xity, we are at the Xity headquarters. So maybe eventually we will go at the Xity for you guys to see. But this is the headquarters, wherein if you want to get more information or if you want to do business with them, you can come right here and then have a meeting with them. So this is how within the place. So this is a serious business. There's not a 419 thing we're doing here. We have a place that you can come and locate us. Okay?
The first floor, there are two suites here. You can see these big glass doors. They are locked now.
Okay.
So they are not. But if you look in there clearly, you see there are things in there. These are all supplies for this building.
Oh.
So this building is going to be a good office for young people to work at. So the desks you see in there, they are what we call in the tech industry in Silicon Valley. Most tech workers like to work with desks that you can lower and sit at the desk and work. Or if you want to stand, because you're tired of sitting, you raise the desk up.
Okay.
So they call them stand desk.
Wow.
Right? These are all packed in here, and the chairs that comes along with them, right? And all the extension cord for tech people to plug their
You already
laptops.
prepared.
Everything is here, right? And then the other place is the second suite on this lower floor. Also, there are materials in there. We are emptying them out so that the painters can come down. The painters are working on the present.
Okay.
So we are going to the second.
So this is the entrance, right?
That's the entrance.
Okay. Then climb this little stair.
Stairs.
Wow, I like the glass. So beautiful. Wow. This is nice. Wow.
This will be like an open office space concept, right? So workers will be here at their desk that I described to you.
Wow. This is beautiful. This is amazing, man.
So you open this, slide this up, and you can see the entire yard.
Entire place. Now we'll put the banner right here. Wow.
You can see the entire yard. The field across there, of course, that's future expansion. So this is the building.
You're doing great though.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm proud of you
Thank you.
and your team or whoever behind this. Like, yeah. It's really nice. Really, really nice.
And this side, you can see the guys who are doing this window glass separation. What they're trying to do is build a pretty separate spot. That probably like my private office.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, like a step. Watch your steps. Separate this. The painters are painting here.
I just love how they light. There are a lot of lights.
Lots of windows. We want a lot of light to be in here. So you see here right now, no electricity yet. We haven't even connected wires. It's clear in here.
It's ventilation. Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Wow. Yeah, real good work. Real
It's
good
going to
work.
be the bathroom. We have male and female. The tile layers are completing it. The wiring in here working right now. Yep, I think they are. Here they are.
Oh,
So there's going to be a female side and a male side. And you can see how spacious it is. We didn't try to squeeze things in tight spaces. So make
It's really, really amazing.
working there.
Guys, this is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. You have most level up, or that one is your house?
No, the rooftop is there, and we are building it to build a canopy over the rooftop. And then once we have the canopy up there, like people can go up there and sit right now. But it's sealed up right now.
Yeah.
We have some work going on, so that's why it's not sealed. But the rooftop is there as well.
This is beautiful. Free, free, free. If you
Window glasses here, if you notice all of those windows are open. We didn't do fixed glasses. There are some pros and cons with it, but what I really wanted to go for here was these kind of things. Right? I want to be able to just on a day when it's not too dusty, like people can just open out the window and get some fresh air.
Fresh air.
And then we've got solar AC that will be installing in all of these spaces.
Guys,
Yeah, so in
living our Chinese meal.
during the day, right, we will be harvesting the power directly from the sunlight and transforming that into energy that basically pumps AC into the building. So that's what we're doing.
So thank you so far for this amazing job that you are doing here within Liberia. I personally, I'm so proud of you. So the big question here is, when will you guys start operating this building right here?
Great, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm always feeling a little bit flattered when people are excited about the work that we do here. So for this building, this is the final phase of this building.
Okay.
I think the timeline that I'm pushing for is by mid-February.
Okay.
So,
February?
yes.
Okay.
For this building to be complete. For you to come and see the desk set up, the AC working, the lights working. Yes, that's what I'm pushing for. Of course, I have to push and press the workers, but we've set some of those timelines right now, right?
Okay.
But Liberian workers, you know better than me how things will go, right? So if I wanted to say, to be on the safe side, I'll go for like end of February, but I don't want them to watch this video and say, oh, Bossman got room for us. So mid-February is the deadline, right?
Okay.
This video should be ready, right?
Okay.
So that's the thing, right? So the solar thing, this thing next week, in fact, today we're starting to erect the poles. We're just trying to weld some of the poles together to get the right height. So the ball went to get an equipment that he was missing. We're going to start that up right away today. We'll start erecting the poles that are going to host the panels. And by the time you look back maybe a week from now, this thing should be up, the solar panel should be up. We'll be talking about like connecting to the battery and setting up the inverters and then running the wire to the building. And then the electricians that are wiring the building will always be working there already. That part I will not be personally working on that because I'm not knowledgeable about like wiring building. Yeah, I know electricity principles and things like that, but I don't want to
That's not
be
your
in charge of that.
specialty.
The thing I'm going to be doing personally is the solar thing. Right?
Okay.
This is what I'm going to be on. The equipments I brought here, they are super expensive and they are complex a little bit in some sense. So I'm going to be directly hands-on building that myself. So and that is what I'm doing here right now, as you can see. So yeah, we should be done by
mid-February.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you guys in
Yeah.
your parting words?
Thank you. So when you come to this building, when it's completed, there will be two things that will begin as like the first set of business activities that will be happening here. One is that it will serve its main purpose, which is as an ex-HQ building, right? The Xity headquarters outside of Xity,
Yeah.
right? Where you can come and inquire about Xity. You will sit down in a nice place, talk to someone about Xity, talk to them about your interest, investment, or residential home that you want to build in Xity. You can have those discussions in office settings here for Xity. The second thing is the solar aspect, right? As we said, we'll be doing solar installations from, from small installations for homes to bigger institutional installations, commercial grade installations. So we'll have a specific office dedicated for the solar business. So those are the two things that we are going to start.
Wow. That's so nice. Thank you so much for this short interview.
Thanks.